Today I will show you how to clean a messy real-world e-commerce dataset using SQL. In this dataset, we have duplicates, nulls, inconsistent values, bad formatting, invalid data, and a few problems that are easy to miss. So let's take this messy dataset and clean it step by step using SQL. My name is Manish and I run DataProfi, a data research and training company. I have spent 16 plus years working with data and teaching SQL. So in this video, I will show you how I would approach this kind of dataset in real-world scenario. And if you want to learn SQL like this through practical real-world problems, I also run a live SQL training. I will tell you more about that towards the end. And here is how we are going to approach it. In real world, you don't get a checklist saying, here's what's wrong, you have to fix it. Right? Some problems will be there, some won't. Some values can be fixed confidently while other needs investigation. So, we will go through the dataset problem by problem, figure out what's actually wrong, and then decide what action makes sense. Because in real data cleaning, the goal isn't to change as much data as possible. The goal is to make the data trustworthy. So let's get started. Problem 1. Duplicate rows. The first problem we are going to fix is duplicate records. But before we delete anything, we need to define what a duplicate actually means. For this dataset, I'm going to use 3 columns together: order ID, customer ID, and emails. If all 3 are the same, we will treat the records as duplicate. Let's see if we have any. We are grouping by these 3 columns and looking for combination that appears more than once. And here is our output. We can see that we have duplicate combinations in the data set. Before deleting anything, let's see the complete records. Now we can see the actual rows. And yes, these are genuine duplicates. So let's remove the extra copies. Next, we need a way to tell the database which copy to keep and which one to remove. That's where row_number window function comes in. Partition by creates a group for each order ID, customer ID, email combination. The row_number numbers the records inside each group. So if we have 2 identical records, one gets rn equals to 1 and the other gets rn equals to 2. Our rule is simple. Keep rn equals to 1, delete rn greater than 1. Now let's put that logic into our delete. Here is what's happening. The inner query numbers every record within its duplicate group. The where rn greater than 1 condition picks only the extra copies, and the outer delete removes those rows from the table. So we are keeping the first record and deleting only the additional copies. That's it. One data quality problem down. Problem 2. Handle null values. After removing duplicates, the next problem is null values. The first thing we need to understand is where are the nulls and how many do we have. First, let's find out how many null values we have in each column. Here, count asterisk gives us the total number of rows, while count column ignores null values. So, when we subtract the column count from the total row count, we get the number of nulls in that column. For example, if we have 5000 rows and count email gives us 4980, if we subtract 4980 from 5000, we will get 20 null emails. Now, let's look at the output. We can see exactly where our null values are and how many we have. Now, here is the important part. We should not replace every null with the same value. A missing city is different from a missing email. For example, for gender or city, using unknown can make sense because the information is simply unavailable. But for email, we should not just put unknown because that would create an invalid email address. So, we need to decide how to handle nulls based on the column and the meaning of the data. For gender, let's replace the null values with unknown. And we can do the same for city. For email, we are going to leave the nulls as they are. Why? Because a missing email is still missing information. We should not invent data just to get rid of a null. We will deal with email validation separately when we reach that problem. Now, let's make sure our updates actually worked. If both values are 0, we know we have successfully handled those nulls. And that's another data quality problem solved. Duplicates are gone. Null values that we can meaningfully handle are cleaned, and we are ready for the next problem. And this is exactly the kind of practical SQL problem we work on in my live SQL training. Not just syntax, but how to actually think through a data problem and solve it. More on that in the end. Now let's move on to the next problem. Problem 3. Remove leading and trailing spaces. Now let's move to our third problem, leading and trailing spaces. These are the kind of problems that are easy to miss because the value looks perfectly fine on the screen. For example, Manish and Manish with the spaces around may look the same to us, but to the database they can be different values. Let's first find the records that actually have these extra spaces. Here, we are comparing the original value with the same value after applying trim. If they are different, we know there are leading and trailing spaces. And let's look at the output. We can see the records where the extra spaces exist. Now that we have confirmed the problem, let's clean it. Trim removes the spaces from the beginning and the end of the value. So Manish with trailing and leading spaces around becomes Manish without extra spaces. We are not changing the actual value. We are simply removing the unwanted spaces around it. We can apply the same logic to other text column where this problem exists, such as city and product underscore name. One more data quality problem cleaned. Problem 4. Remove multiple spaces between words. Now let's move to our fourth problem, multiple spaces between words. We fixed the spaces before and after the value in the previous step, but we can still have a problem inside the value. For example, this string has 4 spaces between the 2 words, but we want just 1. Let's first find the records where multiple spaces exist. Here, we are looking for 2 consecutive spaces anywhere inside the value. Let's look at the output. We can see customer names where multiple spaces exist between words. Now let's clean them. For this, we can use regexp underscore replace function. This regular expression means find 1 or more consecutive spaces, and we are replacing them with a single space. So, the string Rahul Sharma with 4 spaces in between become a clean string. The values is still the same. We have simply normalized the space inside it. Problem 5. Fix hidden whitespace character. Now let's look at the another whitespace problem. We have already removed normal spaces from the beginning, end and between words. But there is another problem that's much harder to spot. Hidden whitespace character. These can be things like a tab, a line break, or a non-breaking space. You may look at the value and think it's perfectly clean, but the database can still see an extra character. Let's check for some common hidden whitespace characters in our city column. Here, CHR9 is a tab, 10 is a line feed, 30 is a carriage riddle, 160 is a non-breaking space. There are a few more. You can download the entire list from the description. Anyways, we are checking whether any of these characters exist inside the value. Let's look at the output. The important thing is that some of these characters may not be obvious just by looking at the data. Now that we have confirmed the problem, let's clean them. We are replacing each hidden whitespace character with a normal space. We don't want to simply delete the characters because in some cases it may be separating 2 words. Let's quickly verify. If we get no rows back, we have successfully removed the hidden whitespace characters. The data may look clean to us, but now it's clean for the database too. Problem 6. Remove unwanted special characters. Now let's move to our sixth problem, unwanted special characters. Special characters aren't always bad. An email address, for example, can legitimately contain characters like @ and dot. So the goal isn't to remove every special character. The goal is to remove characters that don't belong in a particular field. In our dataset, we have got some unwanted characters added to customer_name. Let's first find the names that contains characters other than letters and spaces. This pattern allows only capital alphabets, small alphabets, and spaces. Anything else will be flagged. Let's look at the output. We can see unwanted matches. These characters don't belong in a customer name, so let's clean them. We can use regexp_replace function to remove anything that isn't a letter or a space. The important part here is this regex string. The caret sign inside the square bracket means not. So we are saying find anything that is not a letter or a space and remove it. For example, Rahul Gupta @ becomes Rahul Gupta. Let's execute. Here we go. We are not blindly removing special characters from the entire dataset. We are cleaning them based on what is valid for that particular column. Problem 7. Standardized text casing. Now let's move to our seventh problem, inconsistent text casing. Take a city like Mumbai. We might have these versions of the same name. To us, these are obviously the same city, but for the database, they are not. But there is another problem we need to watch for. Some values also contain leading or trailing spaces, which can make the same city appears as different values in our data. Let's first look at the distinct city values. Look closely at the output. We can see the same cities appearing with different casing, and some values may also contain spaces that aren't obvious when we look at them. We can fix both problems in one update. Here, trim removes leading and trailing spaces. INITCAP standardized the casing by making the first letter of each word uppercase. So, values like these will be normalized into a standard format. Wait, there is another issue. While checking the city values, I also found another issue. Some records don't contain an actual city at all. For example, NA not available or test. But these two values don't necessarily mean the same thing. NA tells us that the city isn't available, so we can standardize that to unknown. But test is different. That looks like a dummy or test value, so we should not silently convert it to unknown. Let's first identify those records. We can now see exactly which records contain the dummy value. We don't have enough information to know the actual city for these records, so we shouldn't invent one. Now the actual city names should have consistent casing and spacing. NA should be represented as unknown, and the dummy test values have been identified rather than blindly changed. And that's an important rule in data cleaning. Fix what you know. Don't guess what you don't. One important point. We don't always want title case. The correct format depends on the column. For example, emails should generally be handled differently. So we standardize casing based on what makes sense for the particular field. As we can see, the city names aren't completely clean yet. Some of them still have double quotes at the beginning. Let's quickly fix that as well. Done. Now the city names are properly clean and standardized. Problem 8. Validate and clean email addresses. Now let's move to our next problem, suspicious email addresses. Email addresses need a little more attention because we are not just checking formatting. We also need to make sure they follow a valid email structure. Let's find the emails that don't follow a basic email pattern. We are checking for a basic structure, something plus @ plus domain plus dot plus extension. For example, manish@gmail.com follows the expected pattern. But something like these will be flagged. Let's execute and see. There are quite a few. Now, if we find a suspicious email, we have to be careful. We don't know what the correct email address should be, so we shouldn't simply change it based on a guess. We fix what we confidently fix. And we don't invent data when we don't know the correct value. And that's how we approach data cleaning with SQL. We didn't just run queries and change values. We first look at the data, identify the actual problems, and then decide what could be fixed confidently and what need further investigation. That's how you should approach real-world data. If you want to become confident with SQL and learn through problems like the ones we solved today, check out my live SQL training. I have left all the details in the description and in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching. This is Manish from rebellionrider.com, and I'll see you in the next one.